This is Mansfield 103.2 and I'm Wes Dolan. Welcome back to the shop. How's your week been? If it was anything like mine, then it will have been work, work, work. Or should I say sing, sing, sing. Talking of singing, here's quite an appropriate Rolling Stones number, seeing as we're about to spend the next hour together this evening inside the Curiosity Shop. This is Wes Dolan on Mansfield 103.2, the busker with his own radio show. Last week at the shop, we started to take a look into what's happening with the live music in and around Mansfield. We also met Dan Brothwell, a producer and guitarist from Ravenshead. Dan started to tell his story of how he ended up in a studio in Rome with some of the guys from Dire Straits and Eric Clapton's band. We're going to be hearing more of Dan's amazing story later on this evening, as well as looking further into live music in and around Mansfield. Before we get to that though, here's a bit of trivia for you. This next Creedence Clearwater Revival recording is actually a cover version. The original song was written and performed by Screaming Jay Hawkins in 1956. I Put a Spell on You. This is West Dolan's Curiosity Shop on Mansfield 103.2. Last week we also had Will Powell in the shop. If you were here, you'll remember he's a busker who plays in and around the Mansfield area. After the break, we're going to hear Will's cover version of the Beatles song Here Comes the Sun, which he recorded for us when he came in. Also, we're going to start to make some headway in finding some of the venues that are offering live music in and around Mansfield.
Where's Dolan's Curiosity Shop on Mansfield 103.2.
Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, I say it's alright. Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, I say it's alright. Little darling, the smiles returning to their faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, I say it's alright. Sun, 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 here it comes. 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 Little darling, I feel that ice is slowly melting. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, doo-doo-doo-doo. Here comes the sun, I say it's alright. Here comes the sun. Here comes the sun, and I say it's alright. It's alright.
This is West Dolan's Curiosity Shop on Mansfield 103.2. You might have seen me around the town yesterday. I would have been the soundtrack to your shopping experience. Would have been around the Four Seasons shopping centre with the little amplifier. And now, I'm the soundtrack to your Sunday evening. That was Will Powell. Last week he performed that in the studio and I was pretty amazed by the performance. He's such a great guy, such a great performer. You can actually catch Will performing next month at the Bowl in Mansfield. The Bowl are trying to put a live music act on every other Friday night to try and get things going again in the town centre. So it seems there's still a bit of live music going on in Mansfield after all.
Where's Dolan's Curiosity Shop?
Here I am at the Bowl in Hand with the landlady, Kath Rushton. Me and Kath go way back actually. We used to both travel across the country performing as semi-professional boxers for a few years. So we know each other quite well. But we're talking about the live music situation in Mansfield today and basically the lack of it, I suppose. What's your thoughts on the live music situation in Mansfield?
It has died. Obviously Town Mill was a big hit years ago and then other venues. I know that the Bowl Bowl previously was a live venue for rock music. It worked in a way, but it didn't work. Not everyone likes that type of music. I am trying to bring live music back into Mansfield, and I've now started to book live acts in on Fridays especially, just to bring life back into Mansfield really. I think live music is a big thing. It's not as big as it should be, and it's died off quite a lot actually in Mansfield. I don't think there's any live music anywhere now, so I am definitely trying to bring it back.
That's the sentiment we've got from most people. There's not a lot of live music going off these days. Yeah, it's funny you mentioned that. About 15 years ago, I used to play in here every Tuesday in like an acoustic jam session. It used to be great. The pub used to be full back then, and I did come to some of the rock nights before you took over as landlady. How often are you having live music at your venue then?
Well, I am trying to book it once a month to start off with, or even once a fortnight. So I've just had a band on Friday just gone, Brothers in Soul. They're like a Motown type duo band. They've been doing it for years. That type of music is a big hit around the Mansfield area with the type of clientele that comes into the pub.
I heard some good reviews about them too. I heard it was a really good night, and the pub was packed out. So, and obviously that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to bring as many people into the town centre as possible and revive the live music, aren't you really?
I mean, I've got a function room now. It has been out of action due to some health and safety issues, but it's all up and running now. So I do have a function room that's available for hire if people want to practice. I do give them the opportunity when the live acts come, if they want to play upstairs or downstairs, but at the minute they prefer to be downstairs. I think playing downstairs is a good thing, because if you come off the bus or you come out of a taxi and you can hear live music, people are very attracted. Oh, what is that? And they'll come in, and it draws them in. I keep posting on the Bowl page, the new Facebook page, any new upcoming talent, doesn't matter what type of music it is. I am quite happy for them to come and have a gig here. I've had quite a few people message, so I've just got to get back to them.
Great stuff. You're going to have to get me on at some point.
Definitely, Wes.
So there are a few venues putting live music on in the town centre. In fact, if you were at the Capo Lounge a few Friday evenings ago, you might have heard me playing this song, one of my own, The Blue Moon Inn. Well, you're driving home late one night. You're very, very tired and your body feels tight. The moon's a funny color and your eyes begin to close. There's a crash against the tree and your head begins to spin. You stagger from your car and it's right before your nose. It's the Blue Moon Inn. You may be a movie star. You might see visions of the future. You could have been born to win, but you never see nothing like the Blue Moon Inn. You stumble to the entrance unaware. It's mighty, mighty quiet and the eyes begin to stare. You nod your head to the guests accordingly. The moon's pale blue and the stars are shining. You become more acquainted once the night breaks free at the Blue Moon Inn. You may be a movie star. You might see visions of the future. You could have been born to win, but you never see nothing like the Blue Moon Inn. Ooh, yeah. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Oh. So once every 100 years or two, when the moon appears to turn blue, don't stop to think, don't look to see. When the night is dry and the air is thin, the spirits of the pagan past are breaking free at the Blue Moon Inn. You may be a movie star. You might see visions of the future. You could have been born to win, but you never see nothing like the Blue Moon Inn. You may be a movie star. You might see visions of the future. You could have been born to win, but you never see nothing like the Blue Moon hymn. But you never see nothing like the Blue Moon hymn. The Capo Lounge in Mansfield are offering live acoustic solo acts every Friday night for the foreseeable future, hoping that it will develop into something on multiple nights. Here's what Nicola Carlin, the manageress at the Capo Lounge, had to say about it.
We've personally tried to do it a few times. We've tried open mic nights and things. It just doesn't seem to draw the crowds anymore. It's getting harder and harder, I think, to keep it going in the town centre.
So, last week you had an acoustic act though on a Friday night, didn't you? A solo artist. And how did that go?
Really, really well, actually. Excluding the payday weekends, I'd say probably one of the busiest Fridays we've had that's not a payday weekend since Christmas. It's just trying to bring people back into the town centre. It feels like a Friday night back when I was 18 was so busy, and it just doesn't get like that anymore. So we're trying to bring a bit of it back.
That was Nicola Carlin, the manageress from the Capo Lounge, and this is West Dolan on Mansfield 103.2. So maybe at first glance, it seems there isn't any live music being offered in the area since the town mill and intake closed. But actually, there is a variety of live music being put on. Not only do we have the Bowl and Capo Lounge filling up Fridays with live music, but we also have the Mansfield Folk Club every Monday at the Black Bull in Mansfield Woodhouse. On Tuesday evenings, I'm pretty sure you can catch a whole bunch of talented musicians jamming away in the Brown Cow just outside the town centre. And on Thursday evenings, the Garrison has started putting on live acts. So things are seeming much more positive for the live music in and around Mansfield than it first appeared. We haven't really started to look at the surrounding areas yet. We can take a look at that later on in the show, starting with a trip to sunny Sutton. After the break though, we'll be hearing from Dan Brothwell and his amazing adventure out in Rome with some of the guys from Dire Straits.
Where's Dolan's Curiosity Shop on Mansfield 103.2.
There used to be a graying tower alone on the sea. You became the light on the dark side of me. Love remains a drug that's the high and not the pill. But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become large and the light that you shine can't be seen? I compare you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. And now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave. There is so much a man can tell you, so much he can say. You remain my power, my pleasure, my pain, baby. To me you're like a grown addiction that I can't deny. Won't you tell me, is that healthy, baby? But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become large and the light that you shine can't be seen? Baby, I compare you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. Now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave. By a rose on the grave. There is so much a man can tell me, so much he can say. You remain my power, my pleasure, my pain. To me, you're like a grown addiction that I can't deny. Now won't you tell me, is that healthy, baby? But did you know that when it snows, my eyes become large and the light that you shine can't be seen? Baby, I can feel you to a kiss from a rose on the green. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. Now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave. Yes, I can pay you to a kiss from a rose on the grave. Ooh, the more I get of you, the stranger it feels, yeah. And now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave. Now that your rose is in bloom, a light hits the gloom on the grave.
This is Wes Dolan here at the Curiosity Shop on Mansfield 103.2. That was Seal with Kiss from a Rose. The track was produced by Trevor Horn, who to say he's had some success in the industry would be a massive understatement. Now, Dan Brothwell is a producer and guitarist from Ravenshead, and you might have heard him telling the beginning of his story last week. But the reason why I've got him on here is not only because of this great story, but because I'm actually going to be doing some work with Dan over the next year, working on my new album. So I wanted to introduce you to him. If you remember, last week he was talking about how his friend Phil Palmer gave him a phone call or a WhatsApp message and asked him to come down to the studio in Rome to see them recording. I was asking him at this point how daunting it was to be there in Rome in the studio with guys like Phil Palmer, Trevor Horn and the guys from Dire Straits.
I mean, yes, it was, but I mean, just to be clear, these are the best musicians of a generation. So they don't need anyone to do anything. I mean, they can do it all themselves. They are brilliant, they are fabulous, they are fantastic. It was a pleasure just to be over there and be involved in the process. I mean, it was incredible. Now, at this point, I'd only really met and known Phil from the band. So it was even more bizarre when I caught this Ryanair flight out of East Midlands and landed in Rome. And as I'm exiting the airport, there's several members of Dire Straits waiting there to pick me up. It was quite surreal. And it was made even more surreal by the fact we had to then jump into a car and race across Rome to the other airport, because there's two airports in Rome, to pick up even more members of Dire Straits. And then we were all crammed in a car, racing across Rome to get back to the hotel in time for dinner before the restaurant shut.
That's a good point, actually. You're talking about going to the restaurant and having dinner and stuff. So did you actually spend all of your time in the studio with them, or were you actually out having a good time as well?
Oh, I mean, to be honest, in the studio was a good time as well. It was all so interesting, the process of working with them and just watching them in action. But days generally consisted of waking up at 9 o'clock and meeting the guys for a coffee and a croissant at about 9:30. Head down the studio. The studio was about half an hour drive away up the side of a mountain. It was very beautiful. And we'd be in the studio till lunchtime, and we'd go grab a bite to eat, a pizza, or sometimes they'd bring it to the studio. And then we'd be wrapping up at about 6 or 7 o'clock and heading out on the town to the restaurants or wherever they were going to take me. I mean, it's a bit of a different culture out there in Italy. I was getting hungry at 5 o'clock and suggesting we should go for dinner, and everyone was looking at me, gone out. They don't start eating till sort of 8, 9 in the evening there, and they have 50 courses, and it lasts 6 hours, and before you know it, it's 2 o'clock in the morning, and you've chewed your way through God knows what and how many bottles of wine. So these guys they're all in their 60s now, but they've still got it. They're hardened to the rock and roll lifestyle, and they they just keep going. So that was kind of the routine, and then you just rinse and repeat and do it all over again. So yeah, I mean, it was very, very work hard, play hard.
It sounds unbelievable. What would you say are the biggest memories you've got from when you was out there?
That's a very good question. I mean, the whole thing is a standout memory. I mean, Forward Studios, where we were based, it's probably one of the top 5 recording studios in the world. I mean, it really was spare no expense. I mean, even the mixing desk, I think it was flown over and transported at a cost of £1 million from a recording studio in New York. Really, the studio was the best, and certainly better than anything I'd worked at in the past. But being out there with the guys, these people that I used to listen to, my childhood heroes, there were one point where I was stood in a recording booth around a microphone with all the guys doing some backing stuff, and it was just absolutely incredible to be in a room doing that with some of my childhood idols.
So the album that they recorded, it was called 3 Chord Trick?
Yeah, that's right. So the album's called 3 Chord Trick, and the band actually goes by the name Legacy now. Obviously, since Mark Knopfler's disbanded Dire Straits, they don't use that name, but it's mostly the rest of the band minus Mark. Yeah, I think it's available to buy on all good digital platforms and probably some retailers somewhere. I'm not entirely sure. But they're certainly touring this album now. They're out in Europe and the States touring at the moment. I think they plan on bringing a tour over to the UK at some point, but we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, that sounds cool. So now that's all done with, what's going on now? What are your plans for the future?
Well, I mean, I'm fortunate enough to still be in contact with quite a few of the guys, and I'm still working on a few projects with some of them. But one of my big take-home memories from all this was just how fantastic it was to be involved in something like that, and how incredible it would be to be able to do that every day. So I'm constantly looking at things to get involved with. I mean, I'm quite a busy guy at the moment. I've got quite a bit on, not least a few projects with one Mr. Wes Dolan.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we've sort of been working in the studio a little bit over the last 6 months, haven't we? Working on a couple of songs, and so we're hoping to work on a charity song to be released later on in the year, and maybe also get an album out there. It'd be great if we could get somebody like one of the lads from Dire Straits to come and perform on one of our tracks, wouldn't it?
You never know, mate. I could give him a call.
That was Dan Brothwell talking of his fairy tale experience out in Rome with his childhood heroes. I'm going to be working over the next year with Dan on a variety of projects. I'm hoping to finish off my new album by the end of the year with him, and we're also going to be doing some charity work together, as you heard just then. After the break, we're going to be taking a trip up to Sutton to see what the live music is like over there, and also we're going to be hearing a track that I often busk in the streets of Mansfield and Sutton.
Wes Dolan's Curiosity Shop on Mansfield 103.2.
How many special people change? How many lives are living strange? Where were you while we were getting high? Slowly walking down the hall, faster than a cannonball. Where were you while we were getting high? Someday you will find me caught beneath the landslide in a champagne supernova in the sky. Someday you will find me caught beneath the landslide in a champagne supernova, a champagne supernova in the sky. Wake up the dawn and ask why. dream a dream, she never dies. Wipe that tear away now from your eyes. Slowly walking down the hall, faster than a cannonball. Where were you while we were getting high? Someday you will find me caught beneath the landslide in a champagne supernova in the sky. Someday you will find me caught beneath the landslide in a champagne supernova, a champagne supernova. 'Cause people believe that they're gonna get away for the summer. You and I, we're living down, the world's still spinning round. We don't know why, 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 why. How many special people change? How many lives are living strange? Where were you while we were getting high? Slowly walking down the hall, faster than a cannonball. Where were you while we were getting high? We were getting high. We were getting high. We were getting high. We were getting high.
So that was me in the studio playing a song that I regularly play. I actually busked that in Sutton a few weeks ago, and a few days ago I was in the Sutton town centre asking the members of the public what they thought of the live music situation in the area. Here's what they had to say. Well, the ones that would speak to me anyway.
Oasis.
What, they do an Oasis tribute band, is it, or...?
No,
Oasis pub down there.
Oasis pub, they do live band.
So I'm just wondering what pubs have got for live music around the Sutton area. Can you give me any ideas?
Sutton, Diamond, New Cross have bands on, artists, cover bands, things like that.
So there's a Diamond and there's the New Cross. I've played at New Cross myself and I've been to the Diamond a few times. Is there another? Somebody's mentioned the Fire.
Oh, the Fire Rock, yeah.
The Fire Rock. Has that got any? Has that got some music there?
They have live artists on, yeah.
And then does the Oasis occasionally have some live music?
Yeah, they're more like.
Is it like tribute stuff, solo tributes or?
Artists, agency artists.
Oh, agency artists. Yeah, okay, but
it's quite good. It's
still some live music. So, and how often, say if you was into live music and you wanted to come down here every night and listen to live music, what nights could you actually guarantee there'd be something on?
Sundays, usually.
Sundays, so
New Cross, Saturday and Sunday. Basically.
So you get something pretty much every week on a Saturday and Sunday, but the rest of the week's dead.
Non-existent, basically.
I have to say I was surprised when I visited Sutton. It'd been a few years since I actually walked through the town centre. It was on a Monday, but the place seemed so empty. In fact, it was very sad as I walked around looking for a welcoming face to ask about the live music in the area. Then I felt even worse when I walked around the corner and saw that the Market Tavern had now closed down too. The tavern used to be a regular haunt for live music, and I've played there on a number of occasions myself. That being said though, with a little bit of info from a couple of helpful souls in Sutton and a little bit of digging from myself, I found a few venues putting on live music in the area. The Diamond is one of the few venues that concentrates only on live music. There's also the Fire Rock Brewing Company, Oasis and the New Cross that are regularly offering live music too. So actually the live music situation in Sutton isn't that bad after all. It's probably a little bit better than Mansfield's.
Don't you know that knowing a lie can always be an angel?
This is Mansfield 103.2 and I'm Wes Dolan. That was the Gary Moore version of Please Don't Let Me Be Misunderstood. After the break, we're going to be listening to a track from Legacy, the guys who Dan Brothel was out in Rome with recording. We're going to be listening to one of their songs called 3-Chord Trick, which I thought sounded very much like the original Dire Straits, which is why I've picked it.
Wes Dolan's Curiosity Shop on Mansfield 103.2.
Crime don't pay, but you made a lot of enemies along the way. The alchemy you need to find the perfect lick, the sleight of hand till you find the 3-chord trick. He made a lot of money and he made a lot of fools. I guess he liked the smell of it, just following his nose. Formula you can't go wrong. If you play the blues, you knew it all along. Play the 3-chord trick and you got yourself a song. Of him, that's a fact. He can conjure an illusion from a loaded pack. He'll try and take the credit for it, there won't stick. It's just another version of a 3-chord trick. He's holding all the cards and you can take your choice. Don't look him in the eyes, don't listen to the voice. If you focus on the hands, you can't go wrong. If you pay your dues, you knew it all along. Play the 3-chord trick and you got yourself a song. They call it double dealing, and the art is in the hand. Many years of practice, and your wish is my command. If you believe in magic, let the mystery unfold, and it seems that sand turns into gold.
This is Wes Dolan on Mansfield 103.2. Getting towards the end of the show now, and as I said earlier on, my week has been work. Trying to keep your head above the water as a musician and singer is hard sometimes in Mansfield. As you've heard, there aren't too many pubs putting live music on anymore, but the ones that do often ask me to perform for them. People keep supporting me in the street with food and drinks and tips when I'm busking, which really does pay the majority of my living costs. So there's always food on my table, and I get to put the heating on and have a nice hot bath after I've been busking in the cold all day. So I guess people will always support live music in one form or another, unless somehow over the next few decades we go from this democratic culture that we live in, or whatever you choose to call it, to some form of extreme totalitarian existence where buskers and musicians are locked up and the keys thrown away, which although may seem unlikely, is not completely impossible. So let's enjoy the music while we can, and spend some time with those we love the most.
There's a little he would ask. Take a woman like you to get through to the man in me. Storm clouds are raging all around my door. I think to myself I might not take it anymore. Take a woman like your kind to find the man in me. But oh, what a wonderful feeling just to know that you are near. It sets my heart a-reeling from my toes up to my ears. The man in me will hide sometimes to keep from being seen, but that's just because he doesn't want to turn into some machine. Take a woman like you to get through to the man in me.
That's all we've got time for this week. Thanks for joining me again at the Curiosity Shop. Next week, we're going to be speaking about the weather. It can be a busker's friend, and it can be a busker's foe. But it can also be good and bad for all kinds of different jobs that people are doing out there. I'll explain more next Sunday. But for now, I'll leave you with this. I'll sing in the pubs, and I'll sing in the streets. I'll play you a song, and you can tap to the beat. You might see me or hear me playing just about anywhere. At the same time next week, catch me at the shop and on the air.
I'm full of bourbon, I can't stand up. Hey, little bird, fly away. Your house is on fire, children are alone. Hey, little bird, fly away. Your house is on fire, your children are alone. Shiver broke a bottle on Morgan's head, and I'm stepping on the devil's tail. Across the stripes of a full moon's head, and through the bars of a Cuban jail. Bloody fingers on a purple knife, flamingo drinking from a cocktail glass. I'm on the lawn with someone else's wife. Admire the view from up on top of the mast. Hey, little bird, fly away home. House is on fire, children all alone. Hey, little bird, fly away home. House is on fire, your children.